All right, so we had a quick look at what the main or the fundamental factors are that affect stability. Now we're going to have a quick look at what the primary situational factors are. So these are like usually your environmental factors. If you're fighting in combat sports or a cage, it'll be largely the floor surface. So we're going to take a look at the properties of the supporting surface, basically the floor. And number one, we're going to take a look at is friction or traction. And so, for example, if you're on ice, you're not going to have the same friction and traction and the ability to drive and move your feet and your center of mass compared to something like tar. When I say tar, I don't mean the liquid tar, I mean like concrete or tar that roads are tarred with. It's, you know, a very firm, hard surface, coarse, gives you good traction. You can move and shift and drive yourself very effectively. Now, like I was saying, we're talking about combat sports specifically. If the canvas, the type of material, if you're wearing shoes like in boxing or in other combat sports where you wear shoes, if the surface of the floor and the surface of your shoe, if that doesn't have like a coefficient or a good correspondence with traction, you can be slipping and sliding all over the place. I'll add a little bit of footage just to show you. There was a boxer that went into a ring, and the type of sole of shoe he had no traction. I don't know if it was a fixed fight and they gave him shoes like that on purpose, or if it was a very unfortunate accident that they put him in shoes that just did not have any traction on the type of canvas of the ring. It was ridiculous to watch. I feel so bad for that guy. He was in at such a disadvantage because of lack of traction. Another thing that can affect friction and traction is sweat. Anyone that's trained in combat sports will have probably slipped and slid in human sweat on the mats more times than they can count. I've slipped completely off my feet and fell on my elbow, on my back, on my knees, on my hips, on my everything because of sweat. So friction is a major thing that's going to be a situational factor that's going to affect your stability. Let's go number two. So supporting surface durability, this is another big thing. If the floor is very soft, you're not going to be able to have the same ability to drive into it, to shift your mass. If you've ever tried to play fight on a mattress or on a bouncy castle, this should be clearly evident to you. If the floor is very soft, you don't have good drive. The floor absorbs a lot of your force application into it. You don't get the same ground reaction force. And if it's very soft and bouncy, again, it's going to affect your stability major. So if a very soft floor in combat sports, if you're used to training on wooden floors or hard floors and you go train on a very, very soft judo floor, some dojos have very, very soft floors, you are not going to be able to perform the same. Like, it's a big deal. Sometimes you fight in a ring that has a very, very cushioned floor, and if you're used to training in a dojo that doesn't have cushions or something, your ability to move is going to be very hampered in the first round. You'll probably start to adjust after the first, second round, but the floor durability does play a big role in stability. And moving on to inclination of the floor, so that's number three, inclination of the floor. Yeah, we're just talking about slopes and abnormalities and deviations. For example, if you step on a rock or something that's going to interfere with your stability majorly, you're not likely to encounter something like that in the ring. But yeah, it is a situational factor we need to be aware of.